What up, Laker Nation? It's your boy DTLF back with another video. And today we got the finals, the West Conference Finals matchup preview and also the potential finals matchup preview, since it looks like Miami is looking like a favorite over there. So we're going to cover both of those, man. Let the chat room fill up just a little bit, give you guys time. Hopefully you guys bought or were able to pre-order your PS5s for those of you fans. But good to see y'all, man. Welcome back to the live stream. We got a big game tomorrow, guys. Probably the biggest one of the year. Y'all, you guys always know how I feel about game number one of the playoffs is the most dangerous one, and game number two being the second most dangerous one. So after that, and obviously if it goes to 7, then that becomes the most important game. But we have to set the tone early on. But I'm going to let the chat get filled up because, man, I got some things I want to talk to you guys about, like some really crazy stuff, man. What's up, Lou? What's up, everybody? Welcome, welcome. He said Walmart sold out on less than a minute. Hello, that's tough. I was able to get lucky to get my my PS5. He said, "Dan, what up? I pre-ordered the PS5 just barely." Me too, bro. I kept spamming the Best Buy refresh button till I got it, and then I put it in my cart, and then the website was broken, so I just kept spamming the checkout button till I was finally able to do it after like an hour and a half around there. But back to the Lakers. So we got Nuggets Lakers coming up tomorrow, 6 p.m. Pacific time. Hopefully you guys are here for pregame. I should do pregame like around 4:35-ish. But yeah, should be fun, guys. This is the series we've been waiting for. Now, these next 2 series potentially for the Lakers are going to be insane. Let's start with the Nuggets. Denver is well-rounded, all right? They're not like these other scrubby teams that have a huge weakness. They're scrappy. They fight. They have veterans. They don't have a lot of weaknesses. So we're going to have to make sure we capitalize. We execute from the start. We get out, and we do our damage early in the start, guys. You know what I'm saying? I'm very excited for tomorrow's game. It's going to be a tough test, but nonetheless, it's a test that I think the Lakers will ace because we're just a deeper roster. Now, let's start with the matchups, guys. Let's start with the cross matchups. Now, if you guys aren't aware, Frank Vogel did say that he's going back to the center position with JaVale McGee, which is something he had. We kind of speculated he was going to go back to the regular lineups, which is fine. We have size advantage. We got to use it versus Denver. That way they don't get in the paint. That way Jokic doesn't get easy shots. We need JaVale to block shots. We need AD to block shots. We need all kinds of people to block shots. We need LeBron to come out here, man. Weak side blocking shots from Jamal Murray when he gets in the lane. We need to shake up their, we need to shake up their confidence. Right now, Denver is a team that has a ton of confidence. They're coming in with a chip on their shoulder. Everybody keeps discounting them series after series when I kept telling you guys they're the only Western Conference team I respect. So the Lakers aren't going to discount them. We have to come in here and pretend like they're the favorites. We have to come in here with the same mindset we came out with Portland and the same mindset we came out with Houston, ready to kill and execute. And LeBron James ready, so I'm not concerned. Everybody else has to get on the same page that LeBron and AD are going to be on. Now, keys to the series are going to be Anthony Davis. Yes, LeBron is the main player on the team. However, AD has to take Jokic out of his comfort zone. Now, that's a hard thing to do because Nikola Jokic is the type of player that he plays very awkwardly. And so he has many different scoring tactics, similar to Dirk Nowitzki. You guys remember Dirk? Yeah, the German guy, right? So he's very similar to him, but a little bit different. He's crafty and all that. Hey, appreciate you, Vic. Thank you, bro. He said Lakers in 4. The Nuggets are solid, but they can't just skip the line. I agree with that, Vic, and appreciate the donation. Here's my thing, though. It won't be Lakers in 4. Let me tell you why, Vic, even though I love the 824 donation, man, like nothing else. The symbolism behind your donations are iconic. My man Vic is becoming Mr. 824 on the channel. The reason it won't be a 4-game series is because Denver's legit. They don't have the same weaknesses that Houston had. They were lacking a center. They don't have the inexperience that Portland had. Portland's never been deep in the playoffs. And as we saw tonight with the Heat, Boston, inexperience matters. Obviously, in my opinion, the Boston Celtics have the more talented roster. However, that's debatable because Miami also has a talented roster, and they have Jimmy Butler, who's been far in the playoffs before. They also have Bam Adebayo, who's a defensive specialist. They're well-rounded. They got shooters everywhere. They have veterans, and they have a good coach who's taken their team deep into the playoffs before and won it all. So we're going to get into that potential matchup, but not before overlooking the Nuggets. The Nuggets are well-coached. Mike Malone is no joke. I have no idea why the Kings decided to fire him. Again, that's why they're a joke franchise. The Kings have went downhill ever since Chris Webber, Doug Christie, Peja Stojakovic, Mike Bibby, and Vlade Divac. That was their last good team, man. That was so long ago. What was that? 03? 02? I don't even remember. But this won't be a sweep, guys. We have to respect Denver. Denver will at least take 1 or 2. I'm leaning more towards 2. I think it'll be a 6-game series, but depends on how sharp the Lakers come. Now, obviously, we are the better team. We have the better superstars in the series, and as a result, we have the advantage. Coaching, debatable. I like both coaches. Frank Vogel, I like, and also like Mike Malone. So we'll see who outcoaches who. I think that can make a huge difference in the series as well. But the deciding factor is going to be Anthony Davis. Why? Because he can shut down Jokic. He is the defensive player of the year, whether they crown him or not. If he shuts down Jokic, then it could be a 5-game series. If he doesn't, if he lets Jokic get off, at worst, it's going to be 6. Because I do respect the Denver Nuggets. He said, how many games will be necessary? You know what? I think it's going to be 6, Aquarium. I think it's going to be 6 games. But if they can do one better, then we'll finish this team off in 5 as well. That would be glorious. But let's just say that the Lakers are an offensive and defensive juggernaut, right? And we have room for margin and error. Denver, they're offensive, defensive sometimes, but they're really an offensive team, and they don't have much room for error defensively. If they allow LeBron to get in the paint and AD to do their thing, they don't stand a chance. They need to scramble it up. They need to get into the passing lanes, get steals. So it's going to be crucial for the Lakers to play smart basketball. He said, I'll bet you Lakers in 4? You don't want to bet with me, man. Y'all see my track record. Don't do that. Don't lose your money. Don't lose your money, man. Y'all already donated enough to the channel. I don't need to steal your money, guys. Betting against me is a no-no. That's like taking a poison pill. You don't want to do that. But let me tell you this. Lakers in 5 or 6 for sure. They won't get past 6. They're definitely not taking us to 7. That's a no-no. If you know how many things would have to go wrong for the Lakers to get into a 7-game series with Denver? LeBron would not have to be LeBron. Anthony Davis would have to implode, similar to how Boston did tonight. The role players would have to go and disappear, all of them, every single one of them, and their coach would have to, outcoach our guy. So all I'm saying is it's not going to happen. 4 games sounds great. I'd love if it did happen. I'd love for them to prove me wrong, but it's going to be a 5 or 6-game series at worst. 5 at best, 6 at worst. Trust me on this one, guys. Denver's no joke. They can actually play. However, if the Lakers do happen to sweep, then there's no way in heck we're losing the finals. Now I want to talk about the finals a little bit before I go back to Denver. Y'all see what Miami is doing is very impressive, man. They remind me of a team that I despise because they stopped Kobe from getting number 6. At the time, it would have been, number 4 at the time. But the Detroit Pistons, Miami reminds me a lot of the Detroit Pistons. And let me tell you why. Obviously, they have different players with different types of versatilities. But what I mean is they have a bunch of players with no ego that are just willing to go out there and grind and play their role. Jimmy Butler, very similar to Tayshaun Prince, defensive-minded and can also go off. They have their Ben Wallace and Bam Adebayo. They have a bunch of shooters, Rip Hamilton-type guys like Duncan Robinson and, Tyler Hero. They have their role players, their guard, their Chauncey Billups. They have that. And Goran Dragic. So this is a team, Miami, that nobody has taken serious all season long. And I've always said this is a well-rounded team. And you guys know I love well-rounded teams. That's why I have the Lakers winning it all. We're the most well-rounded team from where it comes to from star players to role players. We're the most well-rounded team. But the one team that's close to us as far as well-roundedness, maybe they don't have the star power we have, but they have a similar hunger to the Detroit Pistons. That's the Miami Heat. So watch out for the Heat, guys. That could very well go to 6 or 7 games. Still got the Lakers, though, because we have LeBron and we have Anthony Davis. So at the end of the day, that's going to be our edge. However, got to watch out for Miami. At this rate, the way they're playing, they came back from 17 down. Boston had that game in the bag. They should have won it. But Miami was just hungrier. They made all the little plays, the hustle plays. So that's a championship-style basketball team. I'm going to tell you that right now. And Spoelstra has done it before, obviously with the Heatles and all of them. But I'm telling you, Miami has a dangerous type of aura to them that if I'm the Lakers and I get to the finals, we better come ready. We better come ready to eat spaghetti because Miami's hot. They're hot out of the plate, guys. And we got to make sure that we lock them down. Straight up, though, I'm going to tell you this. Denver, we can't overlook them. because Denver can sneak up and surprise you. And I'm glad that the Lakers, LeBron James included, have been saying this is a dangerous team. I'm glad we're giving them their respect. You don't want to add more fuel to their fire. Jamal Murray, Jokic, all these guys have been listening to these ignorant analysts disrespect them series after series, and they've been proving people wrong. So, and Siri thought I said Siri, by the way. But, they've been proving people wrong, and what the Lakers need to do is strap down and go to war. Go to war, not like a team that's entitled and a team that expects to win, but like a team that's an underdog. You have to put that in your head. You're the underdog. ESPN has disrespected you all year, Lakers. So come out here and ball out. That's what I got to say about Denver. And again, we should beat them in 5 or 6 at worst, 5 at best, 6 at worst. I really highly doubt it's going to be a sweep by the Lakers. Why? Because the Lakers have been known to take 1 or 2 games off. If you look at the pattern throughout the regular season, you'll see that the Lakers will win 3, 4, 5 in a row and then lose 1 or 2. So that's a great pattern for an NBA championship team. Let me tell you why. Because you become basically you start developing that habit of when you lose 1 or 2, you strap down, you play harder. That's what the Lakers have been doing all year. They might come out lackadaisical for 1 or 2 games, but they're not going to lose 3, guys. They haven't. I don't think. Have we lost 3 all year? Somebody look that up. If we did, we only lost it maybe once or twice. But we don't get 4-game losing streaks. And in best out of 7, us being the best, more dominant team is going to be highly impossible for any team to come in and beat us 3 or 4 times in a row, or just 3 or 4 times in that sequence, in that 7-game series. So again, Lakers have that advantage. They developed a good habit as far as, bouncing back from losses and bouncing back stronger than ever. And we've seen that same pattern in the playoffs. Lakers lose 1 to Portland, they win the next 4. We lose 1 to Houston, they win the next 4. Let's hope that pattern continues all the way through the finals, because that means championship, guys. And again, bad habits die hard, but good habits live forever. And so let's hope that these good habits of the Lakers strapping down after a loss continues. Now, I hope and I pray that the Lakers come out game 1 ready to execute, because if not, it will be a loss. Lakers have to come out here smart. We have to feed the beast and Anthony Davis. We have to put pressure on Jokic, because the one game that the Clippers dominated, game 1, besides the fact that the Nuggets were tired, the one thing they did, they fed the paint. And they went away from that throughout the series. I noticed that. They went away from that because Denver game planned to push them further out to the perimeter, and now they were shooting contested mid-range and 3-point shots. And so, Denver's very smart, Mike Malone, very schematic. So defensively, he will switch up the schemes, and the Lakers just have to adjust. What's up, guys? What's up? He said, he said, Dan, pray that Chuck does not guarantee the Lakers win. He is a curse. But he is a curse to the lesser teams like Houston and Portland. He's not a curse to the Lakers. The Lakers are curse breakers, man. We run him through everything. Lakers are destined to win a championship for Kobe Bryant. The Lakers are destined to get all the way to the finals. And let me tell you something else, man. There's something really symbolic that was being tweeted around today. And I thought this was very telling of how we're destined to win the championship. Here it is. I have it. Shout out to Big Baby Jonathan for tweeting it at me. Kobe in 2009 and LeBron in 2020. Lakers finished first in the West in 2009 with Kobe Bryant. Lakers finished first in the West in 20 with LeBron. Lakers beat the Rockets in the second round with Kobe Bryant. Guess who we beat in the second round with LeBron James? The Rockets. The Lakers took on the Nuggets in the Western Finals in 2009 with Kobe Bryant, the championship year. And guess who we're taking on in the Western Conference Finals this time? The Denver Nuggets yet again. And then Kobe won his 4th title in Orlando, and guess what LeBron's chasing in Orlando? His 4th title. So that shows that Kobe Bryant is still riding with us, man. This is our year. This is destiny. So no matter who predicts what, I think the Lakers are going to do it. They're going to do it, man, all the way. I believe in my team. He said, Dan, who do you prefer facing, the Heat or the Celtics? Bring on the best of the best, because we're ready to tackle everybody. And we're already going to destroy everybody in the West. We're ready for the East now. But again, all we have to do is execute Denver. And what I mean by execute is we have to execute offensively and defensively. If we give them life, you saw Denver. They got 9 lives, man. They're like cats out here. These guys land on their feet continuously. You think you have them out? They came back twice from down 16 to the Flippers. I mean, I'm not surprised it's the Flippers, but we don't want to give up any leads. If we have them down 16, we want to step on their throat and finish them off. You know what I'm saying? We want Jamal Murray to pursue his pornographic career over, a championship. That's what we want. We want the man to stay in his lane. You know what I'm saying? Nah, that was a poor taste of a joke, but I had to drop. He said, "I like that prediction." That's right. And let me tell you something else, Aquarium. I don't just foresee the Lakers winning one championship. I don't. I think this is a dynasty in the making. Now, obviously, Rob Pelinka is going to have to keep up, and he's going to have to put the right shooters and the right role players around AD and LeBron. But I was talking to my brother today about Giannis Antetokounmpo. Y'all ready for this, Laker fans? I'm making a prediction right now, right here. And y'all know I'm an 85% predictor, 90 after the bubble, but I'm a 90 percentile guy. Here's my prediction. If Giannis does not go to the Golden State Warriors either this summer or throughout the season, Giannis Antetokounmpo, the Greek freak. If the Warriors don't pull off a trade for him, I think they're going to push hard before the draft or to start the season. He will be a Laker. And let me tell you why. Because Giannis Antetokounmpo knows greatness. And if he wants to win a championship for the best market, get the most jersey money, the most fan base, the most revenue, the most ads, everything. If he wants the whole galore of being a mega superstar and win, the Lakers is the team for you. Let me tell you why. 2021, he becomes a free agent. Guess who else becomes a free agent in 2021? King James. Now, I'm not saying we're getting rid of King James. Bear with me, LeBron fans. This is what I'm saying. By 2021, LeBron will be 36 years old, going on to 37. And that free agency, I believe LeBron will recruit Giannis Antetokounmpo and tell him, hey, man, you next in line, bro. I don't have too much time left. Come over here with AD. You and AD are going to be the most dynamic 1-2 punch for years. And before I retire, all three of us can dominate. We could be the new Heat, the new Big Three. You saw what we did in Miami. We won 2. Well, how about we win 2 more for the Lakers and maybe more? So how does this happen, you ask? We don't have the cap space. Here's where Rob Pelinka, the Shark, and LeBron James, the GM, come into play. Let me tell you how it's going to happen. So LeBron can opt out of his contract, right? He had a 1+1 coming up for next season. He can opt out of his contract. What's going to happen? He opts out of his contract, and then we use that cap space from LeBron contract to give it to Giannis. Guess what you can do to go over the cap? You can re-sign your own players. You can re-sign LeBron out of that contract that he just opted out. Go over the salary cap and have 3 max free agents. That's the only way we can do it. Now, I'm not sure if the collective bargaining agreement allows you to sign another max free agent, even if it's your own player for more than 1 or 2 players. So LeBron would have to keep taking 1 and 1. But all that matters is that it's very possible. And I think the only competition we have is not the Clippers. It's not the Heat. But the Golden State Warriors. Golden State has what it takes to trade for Giannis right now. They have the 2nd overall pick in the draft. So if Milwaukee decides they want to rebuild, what better way to start than with a 2nd overall pick? They have Andrew Wiggins, who's a nice asset. And they also have a bunch of draft picks and other role players they can throw in the package just to sweeten the deal or maybe take on expiring contracts. I don't know. Either way, if Laker fans, we should be praying for Giannis to finish out his contract in Milwaukee because that's the best chance we'll have at him. But anyway, that's neither here or there. Just thought I'd run that, and we'll see what happens. But my man said, nice shirt. Appreciate you, Gabe. Thank you guys, man. Yep, squad. It says squad because you guys are the squad, man. Y'all in the house. He said, Dan, does that mean Kuzma will start this series, and who will most likely defend Jokic? No question, no doubt is that Kuzma's not going to start. Kuzma hasn't started all year. That's by design because coach wants to keep him hungry. It's similar to what Phil Jackson used to do to Jordan Farmer. At one point in his career, Jordan Farmer was ready to overtake Fisher. However, Phil Jackson was a very heady coach, and he did something that I think it flew over a lot of people's head. He kept young players hungry and wanting to prove themselves. All right, he kept them because Jordan Farmer was a starter at that point in his career, but he kept them hungry, and obviously he's going to respect the vet and fish. So what do you do is like capturing lightning in the bottle. You had Jordan Farmer coming off the bench with the bench mop, killing off the bench, and you had Derek Fisher, the veteran, who's been there and done that. So I think that's similar to what Frank Vogel's doing with Kyle Kuzma. We know Kyle Kuzma's starting material. We know on any other team he would start. However, on this team, he's willing to accept his role off the bench, and coach is taking advantage of that by keeping him hungry. If he continues to prove himself, eventually the job will be his. But coach is saying, you're not there yet, young fella. You're not there yet. So he's keeping them at an arm's distance, hungry and ready, man, and ready. He said, "What up, Dan? We saw the fire, the determination in the Lakers, especially LeBron. You can see they want to win this one." Absolutely. The best defender on Jokic is Anthony Davis, so long as he doesn't get in foul trouble. If so, then we have to throw in other big bodies to bang down low with him. But it's going to be a handful. We might have to throw JaVale. We might have to throw Dwight. Maybe some Markieff Morris, who's done a good job on both ends. But it'll be fun, man. It'll be fun. Even LeBron, don't be shocked if LeBron switches out to him if he starts getting hot. Like, LeBron is very pesky. He has quick hands. And, he's going to be there in his grill. Just give it to him. So, Anthony Davis should be able to shut him down because he is Defensive Player of the Year. However, if the refs, for any reason, are on their BS, we're going to have to throw different bodies at Jokic. We need them to see everybody, and then their mama. If we need to see Frank Vogel on Jokic, we throw Frank Vogel on Jokic. But the bottom line is, no matter what the name, you might see it. If you're big or even mid-sized, you might get to see some time on Jokic because he's a killer, man. And that is the key to the series. Like I said, Anthony Davis shutting down Jokic and killing him on the offensive end, that is the key to the series. Because as good as Jamal Murray is, he's not going to put up better numbers than James Harden and Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum. You know what I'm saying? He shouldn't. He's going up against a Titan. Now, if he puts up better numbers, then they'll have a chance every night. However, we can't let him drop 40 like he did the Clippers. Nah, we have the real best defensive team in the league. Unlike the analyst said. And so Caruso, somebody also, yes, my guy LC, I was just going that direction. Caruso, somebody who you can throw on Jamal Murray. We got plenty of wings, and we still got Bron as well who can switch out to him. So Jamal Murray is going to see all kinds of bodies in his face. Like, he's going to catch bodies too, but he's going to see bodies. He said, imagine if we had Avery. He could slow down Murray. Thank God for AC Fresh. Alex Caruso is one of the best defenders rating-wise. Go look at his stats. He's up there with Giannis rating-wise. Now, granted, different numbers, different comparison, different positions. But he did an excellent job on James Harden. He held him to under 30% shooting from the field. Not just him, but the whole team collectively. And that's with all the free throws added and everything. Like, we did an excellent job. That's why we finished them off at 5. So, again, Jamal Murray is the least of my concerns. Jokic is that guy. But luckily for us, that's our strength. The paint is our strength. And that's why I expect JaVale to start, Anthony Davis to start. The same starting lineup we've had all season, I believe Coach will revert to it. And it's a wrap for Denver because we can also go small. If they decide to put Millsap at the 5 or whatever, we can run Kuz at the 5 or we can run Markieff Morris at the 5. So we are so stacked and so loaded that we're going to eat chicken nuggets for dinner, man. So I'm ready. No more respect to the Nuggets. It's about time we start talking smack, guys. Now, I respect the game and all that, but it's about time we start eating. Who's bringing a dip? Who's ready for this series, man? Who's got the honey barbecue sauce? My guy said Jay Murray balling with points like an all-star. Caruso will plug him up. I can't wait for that series. It's coming up tomorrow, man. It's going to be hard to sleep tonight because I keep thinking of all the cross matchups. It's going to be a real test. They have wings. Michael Porter Jr. is somebody else to watch because he can get hot. We don't need a rookie making a name for himself in the Western Conference Finals. So let's make sure that we lock him up as well. Whoever's guarding him, whether it be LeBron, Danny Green, they got to make sure that they stay attached. He can shoot and he can slash. So he's somebody I've always liked since before he got drafted, and we got to watch out for him. Obviously, Millsap is a veteran, so he's going to do what he does. Jerry and Grant, or is it Jeremiah? I always confuse all the Grant family. They got so many Grants, man. It's a Grant hustle in the NBA. Like, they got so many Grants. They're starting to look like Grant crackers, man. It's crazy out here. But anyways, we got to make sure we guard all the role players. Let's not forget Gary Harris, who's still finding his rhythm. He's somebody who was very good in the regular season. So injuries kind of plagued him here, and he's coming back from injury. He's been playing a little bit better, but let's not forget Gary Harris. They're deep. So we're going to need A to Z to step up. Everybody from Rondo to Kuz to Dwight. We're actually going to need JaVale this series. Give me a couple of blocks, rebounds, and some dunks, rim run. Let's go, JaVale McGee. Let's do it. Quick Shaq than the fool, bro. Because, sometimes he be getting sloppy with it, but I love me some JaVale when he plays good. He said, hey, Dan, do you think Bobo will play? I'd be surprised, but then again, Mike Malone's a good coach, and maybe to match up with our length, he might throw him out there. Who knows? I just hope that Talon Horton Tucker plays because that kid has earned his stripes. early in the playoffs. He hasn't gotten too much PT, but in his limited minutes, he has made an impact on both ends. So I love the kid we have, man. And I'm so happy we drafted THT. He's so dope. He said, hey, Dan, I don't understand why people at work hate LeBron and the Lakers. They said the reason we would win this year is because Kobe passed, and they said KD is the best in the world, #underdogs. That makes no sense. The reason we would win is because Kobe passed. No, the reason we will win is for Kobe, but it's not because he passed. It's because of our skill set. Kobe could still be alive and we still be winning. But you know what? Let me tell you something. This is a special year. Everybody who hates on Kobe Bryant and hates on the Lakers, they hate greatness. You know what I'm saying? They hate greatness. I said it all the time. You're not great if you don't have hate. If nobody cares who you are, you're not great. The great ones, YouTubers, whether it be athletes, celebrities, movie stars, they all have their haters, man. So being the best franchise in the world comes with a lot of haters, but it also comes with the most love in the world. And we have a fan support group. Did you guys see all the donations I was getting the past couple of days? We have the best fan base, the most generous, loving, united fan base I've ever seen. And I got to tell you guys something, man. You guys basically bought my PS5, so thank you guys so much. But I will say this. This is our year, and for all the stars are aligning. I read to you guys those Kobe/LeBron stats, and appreciate you, big baby. Appreciate you, bro. He said, Dan, the Lakers are real good. Watch the highlights. Okay. Yes, sir. Nah, man, I don't watch highlights. I watch games. So get your weight up, little bro. But I like that joke. He said, I bleed purple and gold, Lakers in 6. I see you, bro. He said, media are fed up with the Lakers winning every decade, man. We're the only franchise who did that. That's why they hate us, because it ain't fun. It ain't us. That's why they hate us, because they ain't us. All I'm going to say is this. Look, they hate greatness. With greatness comes great responsibility. I'm gonna get you with the Peter Parker, Uncle Ben line. How does it go? With great powers come great responsibility. So I remixed it a little bit, but you get the point, right? The more great you are, the more hate you get, and that's just applied to life. Look, if you work at any job and you start progressing, your employees are gonna start hating on you. If you get to the top, they're really gonna hate you because you're doing your job properly, and they're not. You know what I'm saying? That's the way it works. That's the way life works. If anywhere where you progress, you're either going to have people that love you, and those that genuinely love you are the real people you have to keep in your life. So you have to keep your eyes open for those. You got to make sure you coddle those. You got to make sure you take care of those. The people that care for you, support you, family, friends, girlfriend, wife, whatever, husband, they're the ones. They're the ones you got to make sure that you don't ever take for granted. Everybody else you got to push away because they're not you. You know what I'm saying? You're the one grinding. I get my fair share of hate. You guys might not see it because I block a lot of it. But guess what? I get my fair share of hate. And I love it because it just means that I'm progressing in life. Look at my subscriber count keeps growing every single day. So thank you guys so much for that. Seriously. But, without success, you get no hate. But once you start succeeding, it's called jealousy. It's the way it goes. He said, what do you think of Miami versus Boston? Who coming out of that series? I mean, look, it's still early, and I don't like to be a prisoner of the moment, but Miami looks extremely good. However, I wouldn't be surprised if Boston wins the next 2. Although I did hear a rumor that I think they're done. If the rumor is true, before I came on here, I was reading about Boston fighting in the locker room, Marcus Smart yelling, they're throwing stuff. If that's the case, they're not coming back from that. But I never like to be a prisoner of the moment and say, oh, it's a sweep or whatever, even though it looks like that right now. Because the playoffs are long, man. The playoffs are long. All it takes is one win to turn your team around. And let's say Boston wins the next game, and then they win the next game. All of a sudden, it's a brand new series. So, again, my only complaint about Boston is they don't have enough veterans to advance. I was just talking about this on Twitter. They have a lot of young talent. They have guys who aren't that young like Kemba Walker, but have not been far in the playoffs. So they're inexperienced. They're basically young talent. Jason Tatum, as great as he is, he takes a lot of ill-advised shots. I don't think he's Kobe. However, I will make this comparison. Kobe, when he was young, he took a lot of ill-advised shots. They learn, they get better. Experience makes you a beast. And you learn from it. But however, this is not Boston's year. They don't even have Al Horford anymore. They have a bunch of young cats who they just put together and said, hey, you guys are beasts. Go out there and win a championship. It doesn't work that way. You got to build chemistry. Obviously, their chemistry is not that good if they're killing each other in the locker room. You have to have some vets up in there. I don't feel they have enough veterans. They don't have enough guys like Danny Green, Rondo, guys like that. You know, the JaVale McGee's, the Dwights. People make fun of them all year round, but they're the ones coming up with big plays down the stretch of games to win you games, just like Rondo was huge for us in the last series. So, again, unique veterans, and I don't think Boston has enough. For that reason, I'm putting Miami in the finals. However, it's still a long series. Next game is the most crucial game of Boston's playoff hopes. They win next one, it could be a new series. If they lose it, it's over. It'll be over in either 4 or 5. Then I think Clipper Darrell on Suicide Watch. Oh, man, I don't want to give that guy any more media attention. That guy gets too much attention for what a scrub he is. I don't even fan. I just think he likes the colors or something. You know, he's more like a cheerleader than a fan. There's a difference between a cheerleader and a fan. A cheerleader just likes to make a lot of noise, and they don't know what the heck they're talking about. A fan will actually have a conversation with you, whether they agree with you or not. They'll sit down as long as you're not disrespectful. They'll have a conversation with you, and it'll be objective. It won't sound stupid. You know what I'm saying? Like, it won't be a stupid conversation. That's a fan. A cheerleader is just somebody who just blindly cheers. And to me, that's what I see that guy as. You know, he's a cheerleader. He's really loud. He's obnoxious for no reason because they have nothing to be loud and obnoxious about. And then, you know, he disappears when they lose. He don't face the cameras. He, you know, him and Marcellus both, I don't know if they deleted their accounts or what, but I haven't heard a word. You know me. I've been here throughout the years. Whether we won or lost, I was here pre-post game. I was here giving you objectivity. I was here giving you reviews. I was giving you a positive and a negative outlook, depending on, you know, how I saw it. And I was always breaking everything down. Even in the most painful games, we got blown up by 30, whatever. I was right here. I'm a real fan. Y'all know that. I don't need to tell you that. Clipper Darrell, I have no respect for Clipper fans, man. Not even Clipper Darrell. I heard his little sob story. I don't believe it. I don't buy it. He said, Boston better not be swept. Miami would get the entire week off before we finish. Now, I'm not sure that's a good thing either, because when you're playing a good style of basketball, you don't want too much time off. Like, I expect to see the Lakers a little rusty, maybe game 1, because they had time off now. So at the end of the day, I don't think that could be a blessing and a curse. You know, yeah, the rest is good, but you know, also you want to keep it rolling, especially when you're that close to the championship. You forget about the rest. So I feel you, and then I don't feel you on that one. I'll take a couple more questions before I get off, but I appreciate y'all, man. He said, I come to Dan for real basketball talk. ESPN and Fox is for drama. Appreciate that, bro. And that's 100 right there. I stopped watching those outlets. I really only watch small clips just to see what the clowns say sometimes. But I stopped watching them because I felt like it was a mass brainwash. Like, literally, people wanted to force feed you the Clippers this year for the championship. So, Dan, make sure you sing when the Lakers win. We are the champions, my friend. Absolutely. I promise you guys this, man. I promise you guys this. There's a championship track coming out when we win the championship. I promise you that. And it's probably going to be accompanied with some sort of music video, whether it be a music video from me or whether it be a music video about the Lakers. Either way, I can't wait, man. I can't wait. He said, favorite NBA reviewer. Appreciate you, Jay Black. Thank you, man. He said, I have a friend who is a solid Clipper fan, and they lose. He's so mad. He's looking for another team to cheer now. I laugh so hard. And that's what I'm saying. That's not a real fan, because you don't, when your team loses, you can watch other games objectively and cheer for players individually, and maybe even for one game. If you hate a team so much, okay, cheer for them for one game or two. But when you completely jump to another fan base, you're a bandwagon fan. That's the epitome of that. He said, Dan, did you see Shannon rub the Flippers loss in Skip's face? Absolutely. I saw the little clip on YouTube. I never watched the whole show. I don't have time for it. But I did see the clip, and it's glorious. But obviously, Skip is just a flip-flopper, man. He's a perfect Clipper fan because they flip-flop. And, you know, he just basically wanted to discredit the Lakers. That's all he does is deflect. Like, bro, you were on the Clippers, sack. Now you stay right there. You stay right there and you go down with it. He said, I need a Clipper diss track featuring Dame Dollar. That would be dope. But I don't know Damian Lillard like that. But, hey, Damian, if you ever see this video, holla at your boy, man. I'm ready. I'm ready to get in the booth right now. Hey, by the way, if y'all haven't heard that Kobe track from Damian Lillard, I think it's fire, man. Seriously, that made my whole day when I heard it. But anyways, guys, going to wrap it up for me. Thank you so much for tuning in for this small Western Conference preview. I will definitely get into some more Nuggets versus Lakers talk tomorrow pregame. So catch me live right here, either 4:30 Pacific or 5 p.m. Pacific time. I will be right here waiting for you guys with arms wide open. Man, I'm excited. Go Lakers. Lakers in 5 or 6. That's my prediction. And hopefully we capitalize so we can get ready for those Heat or Celtics. We'll see. All right, guys. Have a great night. God bless. And I'll catch you guys on the next one.